In the world of cinema, aesthetics play a crucial role in shaping the way we perceive a film. It's not just the actors or the storyline that captivate our senses, it's the world they inhabit. Today, we delve into the architectural significance and the brilliance of cinematography in the 2017 film Columbus. Directed by Kogonada, this indie gem showcases an often overlooked element of filmmaking: architecture. As an architecture student, I've always been captivated by the profound influence of aesthetics and design on our lives. It's not just about buildings and structures, it's about the story they tell. Columbus has left an indelible mark on me, beautifully illustrating the symbiotic relationship between architecture and storytelling. It's not just another film, it's a masterclass in visual storytelling. Set against the backdrop of Columbus, Indiana, a city renowned for its modernist architecture, the film brilliantly melds aesthetics with a narrative that resonates deeply. Join me as we explore how this cinematic gem harmonizes its stunning architectural settings with the journeys of its two protagonists. My fascination with Columbus begins with the architectural significance of its setting. The film takes place in a city that's a veritable treasure trove of architectural marvels by visionaries like Pai, Eero Saarinen, James Polshek, Deborah Burke, and Richard Meyer.
I'm really interested in architecture. Been to almost all the talks the past few years.
Yeah, I hear this town is quite the mecca. Sure, everyone here is fanatical about architecture.
Are you kidding? No, most people, they don't really have any idea. I mean, they know some things, but they don't really give a shit.
Is that right?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how little people know or care about architecture here.
Maybe not.
What do you mean?
I don't know shit about architecture or care.
I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm just like everyone here. You grow up around something and it feels like nothing.
Alicia Christian's cinematography captures the essence of these masterpieces with precision and artistry. From the interplay of light and shadow on concrete surfaces to the meticulous framing of geometric patterns, Columbus invites us to view the world as its characters do. As Jin and Casey explore these spaces, the buildings themselves mirror their inner conflicts and contemplations. The design of these structures become a reflection of their emotional states, and the camera immerses us in their journey through the lens of modernist aesthetics. Before we dive deeper into the film's cinematographic brilliance, let's take a glimpse into the plot. Columbus introduces us to two individuals, Jim and Casey, brought together by fate in this architectural haven. Jin, portrayed by John Cho, is a book translator who visits Columbus when his father falls into a coma. Casey, played by Haley Lou Richardson, is a local resident who temporarily sets aside her dreams to become an architect to care for her ailing mother. The film beautifully explores their personal dilemmas, dreams, and the profound impact of the architectural wonders around them on their lives. Engaging in deep conversations against the backdrop of these striking buildings, their stories become intertwined with the city's narrative. Columbus doesn't just acknowledge architecture, it presents it with cinematic brilliance that has deeply influenced me as an architectural student. Alicia Christian breathes lives into the city's buildings, making them integral to the narrative. The film is a visual symphony, utilizing long takes and precise framing to establish a connection between the audience and the environment. And this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. When Jin and Casey, our protagonists, meet each other for the first time, they have an unspoken barrier between them, a physical fence, which symbolizes the fact that they are strangers and yet they almost immediately strike an unlikely connection. It's so interesting to see the camera slowly follow them as they are walking along this physical barrier until there's an opening. You genuinely feel the connection, and it yet again symbolizes the slow burn of how friendships are formed. The film's cinematography also serves as a metaphorical lens into the characters' lives. Often, they find themselves in the shadow of these architectural giants, symbolizing their personal journeys, struggles, and moments of introspection. Take, for example, this scene where Casey explains Jin the background and history of the Irvin Convention Center, previously the Irvin Union Bank.
This was one of the first modernist banks in America. You can imagine at the time that walking into an all-glass bank was quite unusual. Radical, really. Because during that time, banks were designed to be imposing, fortress-like, with tellers behind bars. The idea here was that you walk in at street level, you don't have to climb any stairs, it's inviting. Sorry, what?
What are you doing?
What?
Who are you?
God, shut up. I'm just trying to tell you about this building.
Okay, stop with the tour guide mode for a second.
I'm not in a mode.
You said this is one of your favorite buildings.
It is.
Why?
It's one of the first modernist banks in the United States.
No, that can't be it. Do you like this building intellectually because of all the facts?
No. I'm also moved by it.
Yes. Yes, tell me about that. What moves you?
I thought you hated architecture.
I do. But I'm interested in what moves you, particularly about a building.
Up until this point, you only ever see them, especially Casey, through her reflection on the glass facade, as a way of symbolizing her lack of introspection and surface level answer. But now, as Casey begins describing how she's moved by the building, the camera brilliantly cuts into the other side of the glass, now inside the building, where you can't really hear what she's saying, but you can clearly see how much she is genuinely indulged in her answer, which now she's speaking from her heart. Columbus is more than a film. It's a profound influence that has shaped my perspective as an architecture student. The cinematography doesn't merely capture buildings, it captures emotions, aspirations, and human connections. It's amazing how every single frame of this entire movie is a literal painting. Kogonada and Alicia Christian have sculpted a cinematic masterpiece where architecture isn't a passive backdrop but a dynamic character in the narrative. So, the next time you watch Columbus or explore a city, take a moment to appreciate the architecture that surrounds you. It may be silent yet profound. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the aesthetics, architectural brilliance, and the inspiring influence of Columbus. What other films have deeply impacted your appreciation of architecture and storytelling? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until our next exploration, keep watching, keep learning, and keep seeing the world through the inspiring lens of cinema.